Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason here, Signature Esports, and a pleasure it is to have you here live and in charge for the Winston Throwback Series. ARCA racing at its best, and some of the best throwback paint schemes you'll see on the simulator. Good to see you all. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Wednesday night. And we are at the Brickyard. Joining the broadcast booth once again, Kyle Brash decided that he was going to grace us with his presence today, which is a good thing because he likes Indy.
I do like Indy, and I'm back with a better mic too, so I sound a little bit better.
I like it. Good to see everybody out there. We'll get to the chats and all the folks out there. Good to see you all out there. Andrew Phipps is going to be your pole sitter today. He put down a burner of a lap in practice and came back out there and did it again. Kevin Savoy is going to be your outside pole sitter today. Chris Spencer, Justin Malarkey to make up row number 2. Jesse Bunnell, Anthony Crownover will make up row 3. Striker is going to be there inside of row number 4 with Jeff Ramsdale to his outside. Mark Redkin, Joshua Brock are going to be there in row 5. Anthony McPherson, the spiciness of Spicy, is going to be out there in row number 6. Horizon 5 is your sponsor today as well. So Dark Horizon Fishing getting a big old shout out and a whole lot of airtime today. Not only with that, but also with the cautions for that. So Rich Holland will make up row 6.
Starting row 7, we have Jeff Bless in the 48. We got Brandon Porter in the 11 car. Nice little chrome there. We got Parker Weekly back in the 8 car. The Dale Jr. Bud car, always a classic here. We got the 19 of Nathan Dillard. We got Michael Coulter Jr. In the Dale Jr. number 3, and then we've got Mark Creighton in the 54. And then bringing up the rear of the field is Brian Wasserman in the 18 car.
I like it. We're going to have some fun tonight. Indianapolis is always a fast racetrack. Quad oval, 2.5 miles in length. Track temperature right now at 120 degrees. It is very spicy. Speaking of spicy, if you see Rich Holland blink out or just kind of disappear, just realize that he's dealing with a pump issue on his PC, so he may go out. But we're going to keep an eye on Rich Holland and see what he does for the most part here. 80 laps, 70% fuel, 6 sets of tires. Actually, it's less tires than that. We'll have to take a look and see what that is.
We get 3 sets of tires for this race.
Yeah, I was going to say, I forgot to change that. So there it is. Now it is. No fast repairs for the drivers. And pit road speed is much faster than 45. That should have updated. Should be 55 miles an hour here at the old Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Pit road entrance is at a 4 and is a long pit road entrance, but speeding tends to be one of the big issues here.
Yeah, you talk about racetracks where you're able to enter pit road so aggressively. Indianapolis is one of those tracks where you're going to be going hard off the corner, and then you're going to be shooting straight for a tiny little gap on the entrance to pit road. And the pit line doesn't start right where the entrance does. It actually starts a little bit further down the pit wall. So you're have a good maybe 100 feet or so before you're actually at the pit start line. And the main thing there is you might find yourself underslowing for the pit entry, and then you speed back up again thinking, oh, I need to gain a little bit more time here, so I'm not just rolling 60 for the final 100 feet on the pit road, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at 65, maybe just that 5 mile an hour gap over the pit road speed limit, and you've got a speeding penalty.
It's definitely one of those situations that you don't want to have to be over aggressive. All right, pitter patter, let's get at her. They're going green in 3, 2, 1. How about a full send moment?
A green flag here from Indianapolis. This race started in 1994. Did the unthinkable, went to the grounds of the Indianapolis 500, the longest running race, I believe, in the U.S. that is run with automobiles. And we've currently got Andrew Phipps on the inside of Kevin Savoy, but Savoy will pull out ahead of Phipps, and he's going to have a run down the straightaway. He's going to be able to pull a gap on the 12 of Andrew Phipps. We got the 6 of Christopher Spencer. We got Jesse Bunnell looking on the inside of him. You talk about the Horizon 5. We got those distinctive kind of cyan-colored blue splitter number and spoiler on these cars to distinguish who's in the Horizon 5 and who isn't. Do you want to inform the people what the prize is there for the Horizon guys?
So right now the Horizon 5 is set at a $50 mark. So $50 goes to the current... hold on. We've got a number issue going on here. Apologize, folks. Nope. I don't know what's going on. We have a number issue. Our numbers are not showing up. There it is.
Oh, man.
That was insane. Sorry. Horizon 5 drivers are competing for some cash tonight. $50 on the line, but it's only five drivers, 5 different drivers. Now that is to say that we're going to see exactly what they're going to be able to bring. I wanted to pull up the numbers and the names of everybody real quick. Austin Alberton, if he was in the race, would be able to compete for that. Kevin Savoy, your race leader right now, is one of those drivers. Justin Malarkey, Jesse Bunnell, and Joe Grijalva. So right now we have about, I think, 3 drivers in the field that are going to be actually trying to compete for that. Bunnell, one of those drivers, as they continue to work down. Stryker's going to be a lap down. He had to jump the pits for some reason there, so hopefully he's going to be all right. Right now the battle rages on. Kevin Savoy out front, Andrew Phipps in tow. Kevin made that pass on the outside on the start of the race. Turn 1 was a little bit better for Kevin Savoy. He just ran the fastest lap of the race this last time by, but in tow is Andrew Phipps.
Yeah, and you talk about that outside pass here. In Indianapolis, typically you're seeing kind of higher horsepower cars around this racetrack. You think about the Indy cars, you think about the Cup cars, and then we also brought the Xfinity cars here. But when you're talking about these current ARCA cars, we're running a lot less power here, so it's a lot about momentum through these corners. You can send it into the corner really, really hard, but you're going to be losing that momentum down the straightaway. So the best thing to do here is to kind of back up your corner entry and to get a run off the corner. And if you're stuck on the outside lane, it's not that bad with these cars. You can hold that outside line, you can hold the momentum, and you can be able to drive around somebody who's a little bit of a constricted radius there going through the corner. So yeah, that outside line there for Kevin Savoy taking him to the lead just kind of shows the power of momentum here at Indianapolis.
Does look like the 20 is backing up the corners as well as he can, or the 12 is backing up the corners as well as he can at the moment. 17 of Bunnell behind. We're seeing some drivers really start to pick up their pace. 60 of Mark Retkin back to 10th, off 1 from the start of the race. But he's got a good drive line right behind him. Anthony McPherson, the 4, trying to drop in. A reminder, slide job. Slides in front of the 11 there. Brandon Porter, who had a fantastic race last night to the Chop Shop Racing League, gets himself into the mix here early. But we'll see what McPherson can do as the 11 of Brandon Porter continues to work forward. Rich Holland up 4 already. Spicy getting spicy with it. Fiasco 35 rolling the corner.
Yeah, Holland's just running through here, waiting for his computer to explode to some degree. I mean, the PC temperatures he was telling us is insane. As we see the 28 looking on the inside here of the 66.
Seeing the some of the stuff was out there. Good to see you all out there. Thank you, Holly, for the like. Give us a like out there, folks, if you haven't done so. Make sure that you reach up there, hit that like and that follow button. Subscribe on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube across all the platforms. Thank you so much to everybody being out there. Much love to you. Krypton says Halson took us out there for Stryker. Strickland back here. It showed him a lap down, but he is back on the lead lap. I think he had to start from the pits. Something happened there early where he had to jump back to pit road, according to what I saw on the relative before the green flag. So maybe there was something going on there. But brings up the tail end. He's going to have Jeff Pless in front of him. Mark Creighton, the VIP Tires and Service sponsor. One of the additional sponsors to the Winston Throwback Series, getting here with 66 locations across the Northeast. VIP Tires and Service is your home away from home when it comes to the absolute demanding of tires and peak performance right now, especially during the wintertime. So go check them out, especially the location of West Lebanon. In West Lebanon, you will be able to see the New Hampshire store and see Mark Creighton out there. Tell them all that we said hello over Signature Esports. 12 to the bottom side, 99 getting a little bit dicey off the corners, but they're starting to settle in. Looks like a 3-car breakaway. Chris Spencer getting all that much better. He started 4s, but his race pace is starting to hit that 55 mark, and he's a little bit better than a race leader.
Yeah, Christopher Spencer is just one of those drivers who we've seen him kind of sneak up a little bit here. And sticks out to me specifically is his Darlington win where he won on fuel mileage. But here at Indianapolis, we've got 4 corners. We've got a lot of different ways for you to gain speed. You might be better than somebody in one corner, especially with these 4 distinct different corner entries and exits on all these little 90-degree corners that we've got. Him just sitting back here, kind of running his own line. I know he's disconnected from the top 3, but I think with the ARCA cars, we kind of don't see the draft kind of come into play as much as we see with the current Cup cars or the trucks or maybe even the Xfinity cars, to where we're going to see, a 3-car breakaway where we're seeing an increase in speed of 2 cars being in a line. But yeah, Christopher Spencer doing a really good job here in 4th place here at the Brickyard.
Spicy is going to be your biggest mover, along with Brian Wasserman at the moment. Rich Holland up 5. Wasserman's going to be up 6. He's in 13th right now. You see the difference in the way these cars run. It's its own animal. That splitter wants to get down on the bottom and drag the corner of the racetrack. And that's where that right front comes in handy. Sometimes setting up your corner the way you're supposed to, it becomes a kind of a different story, different look there. That's for darn sure, folks. A big reminder out there on YouTube. In order to get away from spam, I have enabled the chat for those who have been subscribed to the channel for 24 hours or greater. Because we've had, we've had some issues in the past where somebody says that they want me to go buy feet photos or something like that. Don't do that. That's just ridiculous. Come on now. Malarkey in the 66. He's one of the Horizon 5 drivers. You see the Route 66 there with the big K look right behind the 28 of Anthony Crownover. Anthony Crownover always a shoe-in for a good race. And this is no doubt one of those racetracks that any of these drivers can be competitive at. But right now, 3-car breakaway up front. Kevin Savoy, Andrew Fritz, Jesse Bunnell.
Yeah, we talk about this 3-car breakaway up here. It's one of the natures of Indianapolis. You kind of have these kind of clustered packs. I know we've not seen this run with the stock cars as of late as we've been running the road course, but you kind of get these individualized packs of cars that kind of just get stuck together. It's so hard to pass here. You have to get a run. You have to get on the inside. You have to have enough momentum to be able to get on the inside of somebody. And specifically on these cars, if you're in the outside lane, you have a lot of control over the car on the inside of you. You can hold them down to the bottom. You can, hold that momentum off the corner and just beat them down the straightaways, which with these long straightaways that we have here in Indianapolis, that's going to be such a major component to, just keeping a car behind you. So you have to be super, super, super careful and make high percentage moves when trying to make passes here, because if you don't, that person in front of you is just going to be able to make you look like a fool. They're going to run you down the front straightaway, and they're going to just continue to gap you as you just kind of struggle behind them.
Donnie out there, Donnell Williams, good luck to the 1-3 to 19. Let's get it. What's up, Big J? Happy New Year's to Signature E. Good to see you, my friend, Mr. Donnell Williams. Much love to you, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I think Andrew's kind of stuck in a bubble right now. He gets good runs. He has a great drive into the corner here. And Kevin, who was great on the long run last week, it's a little sideways end of turn 1 there. And finds himself having to overcorrect, but I think getting a little sideways here sometimes isn't that bad. But look at the 12; he kind of slides around the turn 2 there on getting toward the exit. He dips lower than Kevin Savoy early into the race line. Is that somehow where you need to protect that right front, and maybe getting into too early on some of the shorter turns makes these cars work harder?
Yeah, well, we talk about habits of drivers and what they're going to do when they're driving. Typically, you're going to see people who, might run some of the older cars like the 87s or, certain kind of heavier stock cars that they're going to continue to just kind of stick to the habit of running to the inside line. This is a track where you can have multiple options. You can choose what you want to do. But like you said, those tires, the right front tire that you need on this car so much, could be worn here on Andrew Phipps as he continues to kind of run a more bottom dominant lane, specifically through the this second corners after the long straightaways and turns 2 and turns 4. You can see him kind of running that lower line, but he's matching Kevin Savoy out front, kind of running that higher lane. You do need to be concerned about tires. This is a very, very low banking track, so you're just putting a lot of lateral force through these tires. And you got to make sure that you are able to keep those tires as these runs go long, because as we've mentioned, tires, those right fronts, those are going to be the first things that are worn unless you're absolutely dead sideways off of these corners every single lap.
George Jewell, give me a big old like. Part of Team SC across the Outcaster Racing League, which gets started this Sunday. We're enjoying what we're seeing out of all these leagues. Getting a fresh start to the 2022 season, or 2023 season. Sorry, let me apologize about that. Everybody's truly enjoying the best run that they can get, and it's been an absolute blessing when it comes to what these folks have been able to do and be able to accomplish some of the longer seasons, getting themselves organized, I would say. So much love to the Winston Throwback series. They have they put in a lot of work to be able to run this long. Coulter Jr. back here in the AC Delco number 3 finds himself 24 seconds off the pace, but don't count him out just yet.
Yeah, I wanted to rewind a little bit there to the admins. One of the major things here is you talk about Richard Holland, Joshua Brock, Michael Coulter, all just doing a fantastic job kind of running the series. I think the main thing that kind of separates them from the other league is definitely the paint schemes. Just being able to have those all lined up and ready to go, and making them themselves to make sure that everyone has what they need for these races is so important to this league, and kind of just shows the effort put in by the admin team.
And fantastic job by them trying to work and get themselves into some great mix. Strickland back there, actually, Striker's being shown in 19th, but he is in and out, so maybe something going on there. I'm not quite sure. Striker might be having some weather issues. Now, there is some weather going on out there, folks, that is pretty much detrimental. So if you're having weather issues out there, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. Hopefully you don't get those nasty tornadoes. 18 go to the inside of the 11. He has picked up 8 spots so far, and still some ground to be made. Right now, Kevin Savoy and Andrew Phipps holding on to that half-second difference. Now, the big thing that I see about Kevin Savoy, and he has come across as of late not doing it as often. He used to have a ton of speeding penalties getting in and out of pit road. It's because he has such an aggressive drive line getting to pit road. Whoa, back here, seeing some things going on. Malarkey and Chris Spencer side by side because Anthony Crownover got a big shove into the corner.
Yeah, big shove in the corner. He's actually going to be able to go into this corner and be ahead of the 6 car. He doesn't overdrive the corner. That's such a big thing here. We talk about these cars and how you want to keep the right front off of it. That's a symptom of being kind of tight, having that, consistent kind of feel in the car, trying to get it to turn. The car keeps wearing out in that right front, as we see Malarkey kind of running here on the 28 of Mark Creighton. But yeah, you talk about the tire wear and just how these cars work through the corners. When you're getting that big push into the corner, it's super, super inviting, especially here at Indianapolis, to just overdo the corner, to just go in a little bit deeper and then just slide up, tear up your tires a little bit more, and just lose momentum, be down on speed down the straightaway, and just kind of ultimately kill your lap, even though you made that pass in that lap.
All of the work ate up the racetrack a little bit there as the 54 goes back to work, still at 3. Jeff Pless, the 48, carrying some momentum as well. Lap times right now belonging to Kevin Savoy, 3/4 second lead over Andrew Phipps. And everybody knew that Kevin was going to be kind of demanding here today. He is doing exactly that. He is being that racer that shows exactly why he had so many wins last season. Is the season 1 champion, and has come in here to try to be dominating in the series, doing a phenomenal job of finding absolute speed and skill, but don't count out any of these drivers yet. Crownover and Malarkey now both on the move.
Yeah, and you talk about the pace of Andrew Phipps, just the ability to just put out these amazing laps and be able to sit on pole, but then have someone like Kevin Savoy just come through and just get ahead of them and just kind of command this race. As you've seen this gap between the two of them kind of grow little by little every lap. It just kind of shows how that ultimate pace that you might have does not mean what your race is going to entail. There's going to be a lot of people on iRacing who are a lot faster than certain people when it comes to lap pace, but If they're not able to continue that throughout an entire run and be able to, maintain their tires, it's the whole package that you need to be able to compete and be able to get wins here on iRacing.
Well, according to the point standings right now through iRacing, if I'm looking at iRacing's point standards, Jesse Bunnell leads in points with only 4 wins. Andrew Phipps, who won last week, has 4 wins this season as well. Kevin Savoy with 7 wins is 3rd in points, and it goes to show just how impactful it's going to be. So Andrew has gone from back-to-back wins. He won on the 14th. And also won on the 28th. So, before Christmas and after Christmas, he has New Hampshire and Andrew Phipps. Kevin Savoy hasn't won since November 9th, but he's very, very, very much a driver that has a chance to win every single week. And then you throw Josh Brock in there at Chicagoland, getting a win out there, I do think, November 24th. Let's see. Bunnell got a win on December 7th. There's some racing in there that's kind of changed and changed the dynamics of the racetracks.
Yeah, and when you have the kind of these, we'll just call them persistent runners up front, just people who are consistently up there. They aren't doing it unchallenged. Savoy this entire run is having to think about the 12. The 12 car is having to think about the 17 of Bunnell, what he's doing behind him. You got pit strategies, you got people who are going to be on opposite strategies, and then what are they going to do to be able to kind of pull something that you weren't expecting? Is that guy going to be able to lift off, 100 feet more than you are, save enough fuel to get the car to, last an extra 2 laps every stint, save enough laps to, cut out a pit stop, and then all of a sudden, regardless of your pace, you're not going to be able to catch up. So, these leagues, you're always going to have those people that are consistently up front, but you're also going to have people who, on those days are going to be able to come up here and kind of show their worth. And this league is definitely a league where we're going to have, different winners every week. We're going to have people who, you aren't expecting. We're sitting here talking about Andrew Phipps and Andrew Phipps and Kevin Savoy up front here. And you never know who's going to come up later. Like I said, with those strategy calls, or maybe even just someone with just better race pace who can manage their tires. These two up front can hit a wall with pace and just absolutely have their tires fall off, while someone behind them has just been babying them this entire stint. So there's a reason why you race. You race to get to the end of the finish, and you end up with what you get because of all the storylines that you get along the way, all the different components that end up coming together to give you the finish at the end.
They've absolutely had some of the best racing today. To date, 21 laps in here. Pit strategy, race strategy, no cautions, and typically Indianapolis runs that way. Typically Indianapolis doesn't run with any cautions, but fuel strategy for most of the drivers, we should see them come in. If it's anything like super speedways, about 25 laps, 25 to 30 laps, we should see these drivers come in. They do basically give themselves an extra set of tires if there were a late race caution. But I tell you what, for the most part, these drivers are going to be exactly where they're at. Kevin Savoy out front. Jesse Bunnell is going to be second. Anthony Crownover is going to be in 4th here. Bunnell in 3rd. Malarkey in tow of the 28. 7, almost 8 seconds back from Phipps and Savoy. And Kevin Savoy has little gains and little losses there. Coulter Jr. in on pit road early. Maybe some of the drivers thinking about that last 20 lap stint, maybe getting themselves to pit road for the 20 lapper here, and kind of short pitting themselves just a little bit, be able to give themselves a little room.
Yeah, with these guys running a little bit longer, I'm wondering if they're thinking of just getting close to that mark. I think it would be about lap 27, 28 or so, where they'd be able to just do this in a 2-stopper. If you weren't going to make it on the 2-stopper, I think a good choice would be to pit on that lap 20 mark, because then it would be a 3-stopper. It'd be a very even 3-stopper. But I think with the lack of pitting we have seen so far, I think it's just going to be an easier 2-stop than we were expecting for this race.
Right now, Andrew Phipps on the long haul is actually catching Kevin Savoy, and where Kevin shines the most sometimes More so, and I said it earlier, is his pit strategy, being able to get in and out of pit road faster than everybody. He's usually about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster than the field when it comes to getting in and out of pit road. Joshua Brock missing his pit stall, but he's on pit road. Nathan Dillard coming to pit road as well. Kevin Savoy into turn 4, looking very much in line with staying out again.
Well, also with these pit strategies here is you're not going to go a lap down. So if we get a quick caution, just somebody isn't expecting somebody to pit, or somebody kind of sends it in a little too hard on the straightaway and hits somebody and they spin, these people who have pitted currently are going to cycle out to the front. It's brought up a lot in the Indy 500, the danger zone of when the caution comes out, because if that caution comes out, all those people who've just pitted are not a lap down. You are going to cycle behind them, and this track is super, super hard to pass. So you have to make sure that you do not have a caution come out when you're staying out for pit strategy.
A lot of different looks going so far. There's a look at Josh Brock, who just came off pit road. He is going to be a lap down right now. He was about 20 seconds off the pace, so you consider a long pit road on the front straightaway, how long it takes you to actually get to your pit stall. We're talking about 56 seconds of being on pit road. The average lap time around here, 56.5 right now. Kevin Savoy just ran a 56.44. Andrew Phipps lost a little ground on that last lap. He's been keeping pace with Kevin Savoy for a little while. Here's your lap times at the bottom of your screen. Phipps was actually catching on 28, 21, and 22. I mean, Kevin Savoy on the last 2 laps kind of pulled away a little bit.
Yeah, and talking about pace difference as well, Kevin Savoy has almost a 10-second lead over 4th place. So there's a bit of a disparity there with the gaps in the field too. So if you're pitting further back in the field and you're pitting, you're going to find yourself at risk of going a lap down to Kevin Savoy. So that large gap that you have to Kevin for the pit stops, might not come to your advantage here, as we see the 99, the 12, and looks like the 17 as well coming to pit road. Anthony Crownover looks like he's going to be the first not to pit, followed by Justin Malarkey. We have Jeffrey Ramsdale coming off of turn 4 as well. He's going to stay out. We have Mark Rotkin staying out as well, and Brian Wasserman coming in. We got Richard Hollins on pit road. We have Christopher Spencer coming off. So that is currently your running up front. Anthony Crownover takes over the lead on pit strategy. Justin Malarkey behind him. Justin's always somebody that we see kind of staying out an extra lap or two on these stints here. Let's just see what happens here as the cycle goes on.
I think Crownover and Malarkey might be working together here, keeping themselves within the distance that they want to be. Malarkey right behind, just trying to be easy. Both the drivers at 5 and 2 respectfully at the moment. Ramsdale still out there. He's going to be right there with Mark Redkin. These drivers are looking at that long run race pace as well. Seeing somebody dip out there. Anthony McPherson looked like he dropped there for a moment. Maybe, I don't know. Malarkey, Crownover to pit road.
Yeah, Justin Malarkey actually on the pit road entry made a pass on the 28 car, was able to get into the brakes a little bit harder, past the 28 car. 28 car is maybe a little bit more conservative on his line there entering pit road, and Malarkey's going to gain a spot before he even gets to his pit stall.
Jeff Pless is going to lead a lap here. He's going to try to lead a lap. He's going to be scored your race leader at the moment. So when he comes around and gets himself to pit road, you're going to find him. He's going to find himself in a positive situation. So we'll see what happens now. Kevin Savoy about 10.5 seconds off the pace right now, but that's just for not the lack of doing what he's doing. He's going to stay out for as long as he can. Maybe try to cycle some lap times a little bit later. Rich Holland's going to be a lap down at the moment. He is 1 lap down to Jeff Pless, who is still need to come to pit road.
Yeah, I'd expect Jeff to probably be pitting this time. I wouldn't expect him to have an extra lap of fuel, and if he did, that'd be an amazing feat here because he's getting close to lap 28. He's pitting this time. One
of the drivers that I've seen go a very long way around this racetrack is Charles Van Scoik. Charles Van Scoik saved 2.5 laps of fuel Actually, Jeff didn't even get credit for that lap led because Kevin passed him on the straightaway there. So that's unfortunate for him. Savoy ran a 54.42, but Andrew Phipps says, I'll see your 54.42 and put you a 54.11. And look at the difference. They both came to pit road together. They had an 0.8 of a second difference, and Kevin Savoy now has 2 1/4 seconds to Andrew Phipps.
Yeah, Kevin showing his strengths here on his entry to pit road as we've almost completely cycled through the green flag pit stops here. Kevin out front with his 2.3 second lead. Important to note, he's got a 2.3 second lead over second place, 3.5 over third at the line the previous time. 6.1 currently scored to Jeff Pless, who is coming off pit road, so we'll ignore that. Christopher Spencer, 5th place, 12 seconds behind Kevin Savoy. Kevin just showing his strengths here in Indianapolis, just with his line and what he's able to do here lap by lap to pull such a gap over 5th place of Christopher Spencer.
Such a great possibility for everybody to be able to run some phenomenal races here. And I tell you what, nothing to be ashamed of. Folks, I'm going to throw it on exciting. We're going to take our first hydrate break of the race as these folks wind themselves into an 80-lap, basically, this is a lot of miles. This is, you think last week at Pocono on how detrimental those 3 different turns are. Well, now you've got something that can get, this track can give you tunnel vision. So we're going to let these folks do it. Have at it. Give us likes, follows out there. Make sure that you donate to the Iowa People Money Fund, and make sure that you also get out there and support Kyle and all his endeavors as well. Put some stars out there for him. Some drivers running their fastest laps of the race. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at it here, folks. Watching the 4 go to the inside of the 11, or try to work to the inside. He's going to slide back up behind Brandon Porter here. What are your thoughts so far as we see that lead decrease as Spicy looks to almost go a lap down here? Kevin Savoy in tow, but that 2.5 second lead now to 1.5.
Yeah, the lead's getting cut into here, but also I believe Kevin Savoy, I would think, would have something in the pocket here for Phipps when it comes to tire wear. But as we saw during the commercial break, we saw our first kind of big mistake there for Anthony McPherson, almost spinning out and going into pit road. Not trying to enter pit road, but just getting loose off of turn 4 and spinning into the entrance there. Lucky not to get a black flag as you see him relegated to the back, currently 2 laps down, fighting Nathan Dillard. Or actually, no, fighting the 11 car of Brandon Porter here. Not really for anything, just for track position here. But as you mentioned, Savoy losing time to Phipps. We see the 35 of Richard Holland getting behind him now a lap down. Yeah, just Savoy just really showing his expertise out front. Is I think Phipps actually lost time that last lap with Savoy actually trying to lap a car. So I do believe Savoy's got something in the tank here for Phipps.
Might be a thought here too. Maybe save a little extra fuel, put yourself on a different cycle, because if Andrew Phipps wants to three-peat here, he's going to need something to happen. Kevin Savoy's going to have to make a mistake, or he's going to have to drive the absolute wheels off of that. Johnny Thunder's giving us a big like out there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. I appreciate everybody being out there. Coulter Strong says Holly out there as well. Donnie gave us some love out there. Much love to you, brother. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Like seeing everybody out there on all the platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody being out there. New RP series coming up here very soon, folks. We're going to be looking at kind of a whole different series of gaming, not just iRacing broadcast, which is what we're known for, but we're going to put the old voice to use again. And we're going to do some RP. 66, 28, they've had their own battles going on. 28 to the outside of the 66 as they get down the long straightaway here at a 2. Crown over Malarkey, the closest that you could see here. Crownover's been able to try to make the passes on the outside. He gets to that second lane. 66 able to battle back. 28 back to the throttle here. Crownover trying to gain some speed here, and they've been duking it down from 4th and 5th for a moment. We got little battles all over the place here. Wasserman, who is up 11 spots right now, he has got Mark Redkin trying to track him down, but Wasserman's been putting some extra pace into his lap times as well. Jeff Pless and Parker Weekly within throwing distance of each other. He can pass the paper airplane back to the 8 car behind him. They're still in the lead lap. 14 cars in the lead lap. Last driver on the lead lap's going to be Michael Coulter Jr.
Yeah, we were talking about strategy here. I mentioned earlier the different fuel strategies available to these drivers here. I think the only person who's sitting in a good spot here for fuel is Jeff Pless, but Jeff Pless is currently 43 seconds behind Kevin Savoy, so he is at a even if he cuts out a pit stop here, he is at a risk of having Savoy actually be able to gain time on him to the point where an extra pit stop for Savoy would mean Savoy would be able to pass him late, even if Pless was able to save enough fuel. So Pless in the back currently in 13th or 12th place, sorry. In a good position here to get a good finish, I think, if he's able to get the fuel strategy to work, but I don't think it's going to get him the win, which is preferred. We are 39 of 80. And your pit strategy for basically the field, I kind of want to show that here. Let's look at the stint length here. 18 of your drivers out there. Strickland out of the race. Something happened to Mike. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He was in and he was out. So Creighton into pit road here. I think he is getting some damage repaired. Something happened to Mark in order to put him on pit road right now. We're seeing a varying of strategies. 25 laps for Kevin Savoy, Andrew Phipps. Now that is the other strategy here. Kevin Savoy is going to have to run longer stints here
because of that 20. If he comes in on the even number 25-25, that's going to put him at a 30-lap disadvantage. He might have to run 28 laps on this cycle just to keep himself, get himself there to the end.
Yeah, you have to run 2 laps stints here to be able to be in a position to, win, to just cut out a stop entirely. So the only person who's done a 27-lap stint at the moment is Jeff Bless. So that's where I mentioned the strategy where, if you don't have your fuel in a line here, you're going to be in a difficult spot to make it to the end. As we see Kevin Savoy actually bringing it up here on the 3 car of Michael Coulter Jr., not expecting Michael Coulter Jr. to go a lap down here in typically his Dale Earnhardt Sr. Inspired liveries, but today he's actually running his Dale Earnhardt Jr. 3 car from his 2 Xfinity Series titles.
AC Delco on that paint scheme. 99 puts another car lap down. 13 cars in the lead lap at the moment. Parker Weekly, the next driver in the list of drivers to try to compete with. Andrew Phipps goes to 2.2 behind. He's behind Spicy right now. And I think that is the gains and losses that you see there. 12 to the inside of the 35. 35 gives up the line to the 12. Says, hey, go ahead. We're good. I think Spicy needs to run when his temperature's a little hotter. He hasn't blinked once today. Not for me, at least.
It's all fun and games until you burn something. So,
true story. It's all poking fun until your pump blows up, and that's never good.
You don't want to be the Nicky Lauda of sim racing.
Yeah, that's true story.
So a little bit of history here. How many cars tried to qualify for the first iteration of the Brickyard 400 in 1994?
Oh, it was. I know. Wasn't it like a metric ton?
A metric ton.
No, it
Is
wasn't.
there a number attached to that?
Wasn't 2000? What? I know it was over 60.
It was over 60.
Because normally you see like at Daytona, everyone talks about how many people start for those series, and Daytona actually has roughly about 60 to 65 attempts at qualifying and pre-race inspection every year. So if you think about that in that regard, at the first iteration for the Brickyard, that would be, I'm going to say over 60. I'm going to give you a rough guesstimate. I'm not quite sure. 35 going around to 3 here.
So for the first iteration of the Brickyard 400, it was for 43 spots. The good old 43. We're currently down to 40 for the Cup Series.
Right.
They ran double the amount of starting positions available. They had 86 cars attempt to qualify for the Brickyard 400. So that is a NASCAR record.
That's insane. Insane. There you go, folks. There's your history lesson for today. We need to start attaching more to that. Not just that, but I had a requested segment. A requested segment, meaning that there is the web winners. Basically, a TikTok or a YouTube video of somebody talking about, or a Facebook video, somebody talking about their race and kind of what went wrong with it, so on and so forth. That might be an upcoming requested segment. We'll see what we can do with that here pretty soon. But give a web winner each race. That'd be kind of cool. But we like our statistician of Kyle here. You're doing a phenomenal job. Kyle, how has work been? Tell the people what you've been doing.
I get paid to get cold, so I'm in the freezer. So I pull freezing cold stuff out of a freezer, and I had to go buy thermal leggings to make work bearable. And now I'm cozy in a freezer all day.
Love to hear it. He's working hard, folks. That's what he's doing. He's not hardly working.
And I'm working hard to get me some tickets to the U.S. Open Wheel 500 coming up here in May.
I hate that we have to actually call it that. We won't get into that, though.
Yeah, there's a certain series that we cannot officially recognize on broadcast anymore as of 3 days ago. So
yeah,
the series that made this track so illustrious and beautiful and everything that we love about auto racing, we cannot mention their names or feature the cars used in that series on broadcast, which is a shame.
It is. It was updated with the terms of use service with what we had to do here. But Indianapolis has been great. You know, it has been a phenomenal Indianapolis track here. It's me trolling a little bit. I think it's. I get it. I understand licensing agreements and stuff like that. It's still a shame because the open wheel series for iRacing has been such a little wall tap for the 99 there. Has been such an interesting dynamic to what iRacing has thrown in. Some of the best racing that you see out there that isn't the NASCAR side is definitely the open wheel sector.
Yeah, and speaking from the open wheel sector, I've dipped my toes into the open wheel segment. I competed in the RIL blank series for a little bit, and I actually qualified 43rd out of 33 for a race that had like 60 entrants to a race at Kansas, and we had a 1/10 field split from first to last, and last place being like 60th. So just the open wheel stuff on the ovals is insane. And then you have the road course aspect, which is a little bit more traditional, and even that is crazy because it's similar to like a Formula One car where you have a lot of grip, but except you're able to have a lot of lateral kind of movement in the car. You can kind of drift those cars out a little bit sideways, and that's what made me really fall in love with those cars. I was really looking forward to being able to compete with those cars this year. It's one of my goals for this year is to get better at road racing. I'm putting in the effort to do some GT3 stuff, looking at doing the as much as the IMSA endurance series as I can, doing just in the GT3 fixed. But the IndyCar stuff was going to be a big part of my 2020, or sorry, the open wheel stuff was going to be a big part of what I was going to do for 2023, and the leagues that I'm currently in that feature the U.S. open wheel cars are currently debating heavily what they're going to run because they broadcast are a huge part of what they do. So it is a huge disappointment to even have to consider that after such a turbulent time for all motorsports through 2020 and beyond.
Some of the more derelict things that folks have to deal with, and we want to see the best of the best out there, and in order to have the best of the best, you kind of need to ensure that you're having your gains and losses in the correct form. Kevin Savoy out front, 3.5 seconds. Last lap was better for Andrew Phipps, but we're only seeing light gains here and there, and then some of the big losses are going about a half second apiece. Bunnell comes to pit road on lap 49. He's got a tail of drivers behind him. Holland, Coulter Jr. I think we're going to see a 3-stop race for most of them.
Yeah, and that 3-stop, that's going to be really interesting what they do here. Do they just cut out their losses here in the middle stint? Do they decide, hey, we're going to go green to the end. We're going to do a weird little 1-stop here for the fuel, go a couple laps, and then pit for the tires to be able to make it to the end of the race, just to be on a different strategy compared to the rest of the field here. So I think those 3-stoppers are going to have a lot of stuff here on their plate for what they could do, despite me thinking that they might not because of the cautions. But I mean, only a handful of drivers who even have an opportunity to be able to stretch it to make it to that 2-stop mark. You talk about Jeff Bless. Jeff Bless was able to make it to lap 27. That's the magic marker. You need to do 2 27-lap stints to be able to make it to the end on 2 stops here. We talk about the people that pitted on lap 26. That's their 1 26-lap stint that they can do. They have to stretch it to 27 to be able to cut it out for their next 2 stints. They have to be able to make it to 27 laps for 2 fuel runs in a row coming to the finish here as we see some cars coming off pit road. But yeah, Andrew Phipps, Kevin Savoy, splitting strategy here. Andrew Phipps is actually going to pit early. He's going to commit to that 3-stop strategy to get the tires to be able to get out there, potentially gain some time here on Kevin to find himself, back up to that front spot that he was at the start of the race.
Right now, 10 drivers on the lead lap. Parker Weekly out there looking for pit road himself. Kevin Savoy coming into pit road with Parker Weekly. We see people get down to pit road speed. Kevin, if you look at the way the cars come down pit road there, folks, this is a good view of it. They almost look like they're crab walking, and that is the dynamic of how this car is set up. It's very flat, it's awkward, oblong passenger sides look there. Doesn't look like a traditional, like the new Cup cars that you see, the next generation Cup cars that you see today, which they're very much aerodynamically set where they're at. Kevin Savoy coming into pit road here. You see that right side. This is where all that air became a big issue with these cars when it came to side drafting and the ability to do that. 8 is going to get out in front of the 99 here. Malarkey, your race leader. Ramsdale in second. Savoy coming out in third, 21 seconds behind the field.
Yeah, and you talk about, oh man, Kevin Savoy is having to go really, really hard here. Parker Weekly seems to be slow off of pit roads compared to Kevin Savoy's liking. The 8 of Parker Weekly just kind of going to his comfort level on exit, but Savoy's level is higher. We see that Savoy is actually losing time here at Phipps. You can see Phipps actually just being able to gain a bunch of time here. And Andrew, I believe, or Kevin Savoy, sorry, is going to be stuck behind Phipps here. Entering this corner, but you see the 8 of Parker Weekly, I called him Phipps on accident, pulling over to let him by, and he's actually going to get stuck on the wall a little bit.
Right now, drivers trying to be as aggressive as they can. 12 to the inside on the straightaway, trying to pull the air, the clean air. It's going to make a very clean pass here. Parker was just trying to get up to speed there, trying to be comfortable, and now it is back to less than half a second, or about a half second between Kevin Savoy and Andrew Phipps. Malarkey out front, committing to a two-stop race here, I do believe. He's going to try his darndest. He's about 28 laps to go when they come across the start-finish line this next time by. He came out on 26 last time. He's going to commit to pit road this time.
Yeah, and talking about these cars and their oblong nature, the right side of these cars kind of hanging out, they are called Twisted Sisters for a reason, and in the name of Twisted Sister, the kids are back. The 12 car is in range of the 99.
Andrew Phipps in the draft. These drivers finding themselves in a whole different ball of wax. The strategy is working differently. Holland in and out there a little bit. I did see him blink for the first time. Means his PC's probably cooler. Parker Weekly in and oh no, it's Parker Weekly in and out. That was weird. Holland in and out. I don't know. Somebody's in and out. Somebody's doing something here. I don't know. Somebody's blinking. Coulter Jr.'s not. Coulter 15th, 1 lap down. He is on his own strategy. Jeff Ramsdale coming around on completing lap 53. He will be looking for possibly the lead here. Kevin Savoy, 2.5 seconds here as Ramsdale will be able to come out. I think when Ramsdale comes to pit road, he will be able to come to pit road and be able to get out in front of Kevin Savoy, be able to run this thing to the end. Kevin's going to need a splash and go. So will Andrew Phipps, Jesse Bunnell. I think tires are not a situation. Jeff Pless still out there as well. He is in 5th right now. And think about that for just a moment. When he comes to pit road, he's going to have another 7 laps better, or I'm sorry, 5 or 6 laps better than the field at the moment. So that's a huge run. Right now, he's on a 27 lap run himself.
Yeah, and he's stuck behind the leaders who, pitted already. So he's in a really, really big hole at the moment with this strategy, with him not pitting at the moment. As we see the leaders work by the 97 of Jeffrey Ramsdale. We got the leader of the 99 just out front, just sitting just at a comfortable advantage over Andrew Phipps. He's been slightly gaining on him these past couple laps. You see that gap go from almost 4/10 to 9/10 this last time by at the start-finish line. So Savoy, with that 1 lap difference in pit strategy, is able to start to pull here on the 12 of Andrew Phipps here.
A good run, a good line. These drivers kicking butt and taking names. and really, really doing what they can to find the extra speed. Andrew Phipps might just try to save here. Ramsdale to pit road. Jeff Pless on pit road as well. Brandon Porter's going to take over 9th. Mark Redkin's going to take over 10th. And right now, 10 drivers on the lead lap. And a long way to the end. We are getting close to be 25 laps to go. It'll be brought to you by Dark Horizon Fishing. Dark Horizon Fishing also brings you your Horizon 5. Kevin Savoy, one of the drivers, if he wins this race today, he's going to net himself $50 extra, and that'll go to combat the drive line. He is winless since November, and will definitely look to have the advantage here. Now I want to make sure that my stats are correct, because I was looking at the iRacing points. I want to make sure that I'm correct there. Apologies about that, folks, because SimRacer Hub, Kevin Savoy actually has 7 wins. He technically would lead in points, so that would be the points difference. They had some bonus points to add there. So Kevin Savoy, Andrew Phipps, Jesse Bunnell, all of those drivers within 79 points of each other at the moment. 150 points within each other. So those are just a few wins. That's what that is. That's the difference. The point strategy here and the points difference here, all different. So according to where they in SimRacer Hub, where they keep their points, that's what they've been doing. Let me look at the schedule, make sure I'm correct. Kevin Savoy, November 9th was his last win. We have Andrew Phipps back-to-back the last 2 races. Bunnell was back-to-back prior to that. It seems like they're going back-to-back, and then somebody else wins.
Yeah, I mean, the entire season has been just, a show of, who's who of the Winston Throwback series. These guys are up front every week, just fighting it out here. It seems like every time I'm in the booth, they're just talking about Phipps and Savoy in some capacity. You've got other drivers that, show up, like Bunnell, Malarkey, Spencer. You got Brock, who came out in Atlanta. We've got, people who aren't here that we typically talk about as well, who are, up here in contention. It's just, you got those drivers that are in each league that of and are going to be trouble when it comes down to the finisher.
Sometimes the race line dictates what drivers are doing, and I tell you what, the strength of field of this series is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, we're seeing 46.35 from Phipps. Bunnell has a 39.90 I rating. Crown over 34.45. Savoy has a 35.99. 26.98 for Chris Spencer. So we have some very talented drivers according to the race stats, and they're all out there competing in this ARCA car, which is a different car. It's a whole different animal, and you got to think about this car. Just over 2 months ago, went through a complete overhaul on the simulator, and now we're seeing the drivers adapt to this car as well. So a new damage model, new engine model, new everything. And we're talking about the way the paint lays on the car is even completely different.
Yeah, and the important thing is the cars sound a lot better too. They got the new engine sound that goes along with it, a little bit lower sounding engine, sounds a little bit more raw. It's really nice to listen to when you're driving it around. It's a noticeable difference of this new car as well.
Amanda, what's up, Amanda? Good to see you, dear. Again, Johnny Thunders, thank you very much. Chuck, Charles Van Scoyke out there, the good racing legend himself. He's giving us a big old like. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you very much for being out there. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful, 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 wonderful afternoon. Did something cool, figured something out on the SDK overlays, folks. I'm going to pull up Andrew Phipps here. I figured out that I can put their cars, as long as I have their photos of the cars and I do a little Photoshop work, I can put the cars on their numbers now. I like that. One of my favorite things now. And then if they have a driver photo, there it is. Yeah. Look at that. Pretty darn killer, don't you think? Anywho, I'll be working on that for the stream for the rest of the races too, for all the folks out there. Folks, if you haven't done so, reach up, hit that like, hit the follow, hit the subscribe, hit the whatever button you have for whatever platform you are currently tuning in on. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Of course, we are live on all 3, simulcasting once again. because, well, it's just better. It's just better for the leagues. It's better for what I do over here as well. And that's what we're doing. Bunnell's in third. Crown over. 19 seconds here, trying to close down any kind of line. He's coming to pit road.
Yeah, pit entry here. Oh, you see him getting a little bit loose there. Got a little bit of a fake there to the right, getting close to that cone. Getting a little bit of wheel hop, getting on the brakes hard there, entering pit road. Talking about sound for these cars, what is your favorite sounding race car? And this could be a good question here for the people in the chats too. Got any that come up to the top of your head here when it comes to the race car sounds?
Race car sounds, I like the Porsche. In iRacing, I like the Porsche. I think it's, having just out of the corner just makes me nervous. It's like his rear end wants to step to it. Let's see. Man, it says nice paint too. He does have a pretty nice paint, doesn't he? Let's see. I like the updated model of the trucks. I think as far as NASCAR goes, I think the trucks are probably the better sounding car right now, or better sounding of all of them.
Let's throw the iRacing aspect out of this. Let's just throw any car from any era, like a specific year, anything that comes to mind when you think of sound. Like,
you give me a Hellcat. Pretty much any year of a Hellcat.
Gotcha.
Just the Hellcat Charger is just absolutely insane. And now the Dodge is releasing actually a 2023 version of it too. The Hellcat wide body is absolutely, it's amazing. It's amazing. But if I had to go back to real, like, and that's just a car I commercially bought. I love the way the SRX sounds, the SRX series in real life. So you get any of those Subarus, those Fords, the Ford Focus out there, and you throw that dirt road series, look in there. I like the way it sounds, just that high pitched. They are, I forget the phrase, but they're balls to the walls on every jump, every turn, everything that they do. It's insane. And that goes to throw kind of a little segue here. Ken Block, who just passed away here recently. Thoughts and prayers out there. Absolute phenomenal human being and a phenomenal driver out there. But it's a loss for the motorsports world to be able to see somebody with so much talent lose their life. I mean, he did it doing what he loves, but still, it's just it's definitely difficult for the motorsports world. I'm glad to see folks getting back into the grand scheme of things. Anthony Crownover took fuel only, came out right behind the race leader. What about you, man? What about you? Tell me what your favorite sounding car is.
The first thing that comes to mind when it just comes to sound is, you got a couple that come to mind. You got the old, like early 2000s plate package, how the pack would sound coming by you during the broadcasts. Some of the early, back when IndyCar used to run the V8s, you'd hear them going around, they are IndyCar, probably IRL when they're going around Charlotte. Actually, the sound of those, just a V8 going around, kind of sounds similar to a next gen, but if it was a little higher pitched. But for me, man, it's just those early 1990s F1 cars with V12s just screaming at you.
They just have a different sound, and it's like having those who've heard turbos in real life. It's like having a turbo going at high rev all the time. And it's insane to hear.
And even then, when they, the early 2000s, when they're, ran V10s for a bit before they switched to V8s, those as well, just the sound of those are incredible. Nowadays they sound a little less impressive with the V6 and whatever, but what they're doing with those engines are insane. But yeah, just sound wise, those V12s, just hearing them. There's videos of track days where you just see those cars, enter a corner and you just get this loud, piercing noise. But especially when the cars get away from you and you just hear it, and it's just screaming on the other end of a racetrack, and it is just loud, and it's ear piercing, and it's just amazing.
Parker Weekly right behind your race leader there. Weekly is going to be in 13th, 2 laps down, trying to get around the 99 here. New tires for that driver. He came to pit road on 63 to find himself there. Mark Retkin's going to pit from 6th. He's going to find himself in on pit road. Ramsdale on the 97, 50 seconds off the pace right now. Came out on 54. He is trying to have a 26 lap stint. Kevin Savoy, Andrew Phipps will both need to come to pit road.
Andrew Phipps has just pitted in. We're talking about things here that could, affect the outcome of the race. It's Kevin Savoy actually having pressure by a lap car. Parker Weekly has a chance to look on the inside of turn 2. He does not. He's going to back off. He's going to try to get a run down the back straightaway. He does not get as good as a run as he could have done there coming through that corner. He's going to file in behind the 99. He looks a little bit inside, but that's just the look. That's one of the things here that could affect the battle here for the lead. Andrew Phipps currently sitting on pit road. He's going to get a good exit here. We're going to probably see Kevin Savoy just pit to cover off here, but he needs to make sure that the 8 of Parker Weekly does not do something here that puts him into a dangerous position here for pit strategy, and we see him coming to the inside and coming to pit road.
Parker Weekly finding himself a lap down at the moment. We'll see what Kevin Savoy does here. Jesse Bunnell will come around, and I think he's going to stay out to lead a lap, which is kind of a smart thing to do at the moment. Can he get enough gap and enough time to pit road to be able to get himself in the right mix? Came out at 48, finds himself looking for his pit strategy right now. Justin Malarkey came out on 52. He would need to run 28 complete laps, and that is pushing it very close to fuel.
Yeah, you already are sitting in just such a difficult situation here with pit strategy. If you have not done your job with your fuel strategy here, you cannot make it up. You cannot sit here and make 4 laps up when you've had a chance to just save a lap here and a lap there. So if you are short on fuel, you are going to have to pit later in this race.
Joshua Brock to the inside of the 66. Brock came in on pit road. Difference for some drivers here. Let's talk about some time and what's going on here. Andrew Phipps is gonna be ahead of the 12 or the 99 here. Andrew Phipps came in and took right sides only to the 4 tires of the 99 behind.
And he's just trying to do something here. You get out front and stands in a position here to make Andrew Phipps have to do something to get the win here. Kevin Savoy looks like he's got a little bit of a run down the front stretch here, but he's not going to have an amazing run to get by here. The 11 car in front actually might present an opportunity here for the leaders as he gets scared off the bottom there by the 12, kind of sending it on the inside. He's going to get a little bit loose here, almost contact there. Entering the corner. We're going to have the 99 here actually running from the high side. He's going to cut low. He's going to have momentum here coming off the corner. We're going to see the 12 car here have a shot down into turn 3.
Kevin Savoy getting the inside line here is huge.
Yeah, that inside line is really, really important, but one of the things here is he needs to watch out for the 12 car. The 12 car is not too shabby himself. He's not going to be able to get the run to look on the inside here heading into the next corner in the short chutes, but he's going to be sitting behind him here on 2 tires. He's sitting closer than he was before, but as mentioned earlier, he's going to be on 2 tires, so he's going to be really, really hard-pressed to be able to gain pace here.
He did it to pull a strategy here, thinking that maybe he had another lap or so, but Kevin Savoy came in, probably looked at his telemetry and said, you know what, he only took 2 tires. I'm going to take 4. I'm going to take that little extra time. I'm going to try to get myself in a better situation. Jesse Bunnell still needs to come to pit road. He's going to lead a few more laps here. Justin Malarkey, though, has about 7.5 seconds between he and Kevin Savoy at the moment. 10 laps to go, and the fuel strategy looks as so. Jeff Ramsdale still on the lead lap, has himself a 37-second lead at the, or 37-second difference between he and Bunnell at the moment. But he is probably one of the drivers that are going to be good on fuel. So is The 48 of Jeff Pless. Anthony Crownover is going to be solid with fuel as well. He came in, took fuel only on his stop, so that actually might be hurting his tires a little bit. 54.24 for Kevin Savoy. He's able to pull ahead here a little bit, but Bunnell trying to save. Maybe Bunnell saves all he can here. Maybe he tries to save. That's a lot of saving. That's shutting the car off in the corners. That's doing a whole lot here to be able to keep 10 laps. Maybe thinking there's a possibility here anywhere to be able to get myself that extra lap or two. 9 laps to go, and fuel the worry for the 17.
Yeah, just with saving fuel here, I mean, it's a 2.5 mile race track. You're in a position to where you're really, really, really in a difficult situation trying to save that much fuel. So I don't think it would be possible, but if we see his pace drop off tremendously over these last couple laps, he might be able to do it.
Al Reed, give me a big old like out there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much. Much love to all the folks out there. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day at all the platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Much love to you all. I hope you're all having the best of the best Wednesdays that you could ask for. We're seeing all kinds of different race lines, whole different strategies, a whole lot of different things that you never thought possible. But I tell you what, it's been a great race. It's been an interesting race to say the least, because we're seeing drivers try different things. And right now, Malarkey, who came in on 52, 14.5 seconds off the pace, maybe thinking he can make it and maybe try to save. He can save the fuel. I've seen drivers save a lap or two here, just by lap times. But man, it just becomes difficult. It does. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. We are
I will say, for the people at home who are wondering potentially how long this race is, this is a 200-mile race. So this is definitely I understand it's if this finishes how we're currently looking at the race, it might not seem like a crazy race start to finish, but for us to at the end of 80 laps to still have 2 drivers within even if it's 5 seconds, I mean that's incredible, just to have that sort of gap between the first and second place through 80 entire laps. It's green flag the entire way.
It is insane. It is insane to think about it. Malarkey right now in second. Kevin Savoy out front. We see the difference as Jesse coming off pit road now, 20 seconds off the pace. A solid third place night for him so far. 7 laps to go. He's going to be up to speed, right side only for him, as Ramsdale will look to the inside. Jeff Ramsdale took 4 tires, but is it going to be enough? It's not this time by. Right now, Rich Holland, he's going to be a lap down in 14th, but he's keeping up with a spicy PC. There's Brandon Porter and Parker Weekly. Parker Weekly there on the front straightaway. Brandon Porter at a 1 and 2, getting into 2 here. Now he's going to be the first driver 1 lap down. Redkin in and out, but he is going to be 51 seconds. He might be lapped before the end of the race.
Yeah, it's entirely possible here. I mean, hey, 80 laps. You got to remember, it's not he just is 50 seconds behind Kevin Savoy after whatever. That is 80 laps of Kevin Savoy just being that little bit faster than Joshua Brock, and through pit strategies being able to gain all that time. So I think it's important just to mention that. I know it seems kind of redundant to bring it up, but yeah, just because somebody's behind the leader or close to being lapped doesn't mean they're doing a bad job.
All righty.
Yeah, so we got Justin Malarkey currently in third place. He's going to be dropping back a little bit here. I don't think he's in tremendous reach here of Jesse Bennell, who is in fourth. We've got Ramsdale right behind Bennell, but Ramsdale seems to be losing time here, as we saw him a couple laps ago on the back bumper here of Bennell. So seems pretty processional here for the first 5 positions on track. Crownover currently behind Ramsdale. Looks like he's got a gap of about almost 7 seconds. So that is another kind of gap that's a little bit insurmountable at the moment. We're fairly spread out throughout the top 10 at the moment.
Chris
got
Spencer,
a little bit of
I was going to say, Chris Spencer seems like he is actually catching here. I was just watching his relative time. He's about 2 seconds faster than the 2 drivers ahead of him. He's got 4 laps to go. I think he can catch the 28, according to the time here. And there's possibility that Chris Spencer might pick up another spot.
It's entirely possible here. He could have just had those tires saved for late, you know, kind of lost the pit strategy there for a while. It's kind of hard to completely follow it, but yeah, I mean, we're at a position now to where I don't think we're most drivers here are thinking about, you know, cautions. You know, what if a caution comes out in these final 3 laps? How are you going to deal with that? What are you going to do here to, you know, put yourself in a position to be able to gain? Or are you the last car on the lead lap? Are you going to stay out and kind of risk it? You know, what kind of situations might you find yourself in here? And hey, are you, you know, mentally there for a restart? You know, we've done, you know, almost 79 laps or 77 laps, sorry, of this race so far. And if we get a quick restart, you know, how are you going to handle that as a driver? Are you going to be able to turn on for that, or are you going to be a little bit mentally fatigued for this for that final restart if it happens?
I'm going to be mad.
Yeah,
The caution comes out. I mean, most of these drivers have gotten in here and they're kind of they've made their bed where it's going to be. Here's Brock and Wasserman going at it here. These 2 drivers on a different strategy as well. Joshua Brock going to the inside of the 18. Makes the pass. They're on different strategies. Both of the drivers have different tires, so 118 going at it. Chris Spencer is caution. Caution comes out for the first time all race. 77 laps green, 78 laps green. Parker Weekly. You did. Parker Weekly went around. He is backwards right now, the 8, as the first caution of the race comes out. And man, commentator's curse coming back to bite us.
I'm going to use this opportunity to go leave for a second. I'll be right back.
It's been a race today, folks. This is what happened. 35 gave the 8 a little bump there. Oof. We have to go back to Rich here. Spicy came in on 63. The 8 car right there, Parker Weekly came in on 63 as well. Took right sides only, but Spicy has four sets of tires on. 8 a little off the racing surface. 35 gets a great drive in. 8 just doesn't have the room. I think the 8 had to get out of the gas there a little bit. 35 just got to him too quickly there, and the 8 goes around. Spicy, the Dark Horizon Fishing driver right there, gives himself an EOL, or not an EOL, but gives himself a big run right there. Man, I tell you what, it was insane. And now it is down to a green-white checkered attempt. Folks, I hope you have enjoyed what you saw and heard today. All brought to you by this guy right here, Goki Esports. Go give him a follow for me. He's my PIC in life, and he's one of the best out there when it comes to gaming and streaming with. He's a good friend, and I enjoy that. Mandaruda Racing is going to be the next one as well that I'd recommend. Trying to think about what we're doing here. Jerry, what do you say, man? What do you say? Joey Culver out there, best dude calling the race. I tell you, I appreciate you. Let me reload some things here. What do you say, man? Good to see you out there. Am I missing some chats from Facebook? Something's going on with Facebook. There it is. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Amanda says, hope everyone's having a great night. Love you. Appreciate you. Some drivers trying something here. One attempt at a green-white checkered for the drivers. That's going to be a big, huge thing. Thank you very much, folks. If you didn't see it out there, we do have a new Amazon wish list. That is, I don't know why it sent it twice. We're gonna do that. That is, folks have asked me, you know, what do I want to improve the stream? Well, those are the first three things that I need to do. To fix everything, I need to update and fix everything on that end. So bear that in mind. So there's an opportunity to support and help. You'll know exactly what those things are for. It's for the better part of what we're doing here. So thank you so much to everybody. You are all amazing. And hopefully our stars are...
Hey, Papa needs a new mic stand.
There you go. There's a mic stand out there. You can add it there as well. We'll get it over to everybody. Much love. Thank you. Bob Garofalo out there. Bob, you had a fantastic race yesterday. Love you, buddy. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
Yeah, this is just something that I was not expecting. And as I mentioned in that thing, you're not expecting this race to go as many laps as it did and then just have its first caution right at the end and then just have, you know, absolute chaos. We're going to have drivers here in the back who are going to have fresh tires, so they're going to be able to move up and through the field, you know, maybe not as fast as they would have liked, you know, with some of these drivers kind of pitting a little bit later. But, you know, we talk about the strategy calls that drivers have made. Andrew Phipps, you know, pitted when he did, and he took 2 tires, so he's going to be sitting on a restart with cars behind him, and he's going to be sitting on 2 tires. So what does that do when, you know, somebody gets, you know, 2 full green flag laps here with fresher tires? Are they going to be able to get to Andrew Phipps and, you know, knock him off the podium? You know, this is the incredible thing that we're going to see here with strategy coming to the end here.
It's going to be unreal. Kevin is going to need... let's kind of take a look at what we're seeing here. So, Kevin Savoy came in on 67, took tires, 66 for Andrew Phipps right side tires. Bunnell came in on 73, has fresher tires than those top 2, about 7 lap fresher tires. He did take right sides only, but that's still a difference there. Chris Spencer was faster than everybody toward the end of the stint. He's in 4th right now. He came in on 68. First driver with fresh tires is going to be an 8th. That's Justin Malarkey.
I like Malarkey's position to be able to get up here and to get in a position to maybe finish better than where he was going to finish, but up front, you know, Kevin Savoy's got a big advantage here. He's going to be in control of this restart, but he has to do his job. If he doesn't do his job, he is going to be sitting in a difficult position here as we're getting ready to go green.
Straightaways are going to be huge and impactful. Folks, reach up, hit that like button for me. I want to hear it. I want to see it across Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. If you haven't done so, do it now. Green flag waves for the only green-white checkered attempt. 2 to go.
We got a bit of a spacing out here on the restart. You talk about the first car with fresh tires, Malarkey. He did not get a good start here. He is going to be in a position to where he is going to have to fight up here to get in a position to get up to the 18 car up front. We got the 99 of Savoy. Savoy doing a really good job on that restart, but Bunnell is all over the back bumper here of Andrew Phipps, and he's going to look on the inside.
Bunnell to the inside, 3 to 2 now as Andrew Phipps looked to the back bumper. Right now, Anthony Crownover made some moves there to get around the 66 from the outside, and now with a head of steam, looks to the back of Brian Wasserman. Bunnell looking for second here, has second. It's going to be trying to look for that lead. Kevin Savoy coming around to the straightaway, wants to see a white flag and be able to defend what he has.
Yeah, Benell got by the 12 car, but is it going to be too little too late crossing the line here? He is going to be behind the leader by 0.8 of a second. Is he going to be able to gain 0.8 in the final lap? I do not think so, but nothing is impossible here. We got the 6 of Christopher Spencer. He's going to be gaining here on Andrew Phipps. Is he going to knock him off the podium? We don't know. We've got 2 more corners left for these drivers. Oh, Andrew Phipps on the wall.
Andrew Phipps is going to drop. Spencer goes around to third here as Joshua Brock. There is crown over. Brock doors the 28. Trying to defend here. The 28 has the turn 3 wide into turn 3. Back to double file. Phipps trying to hold on. Crownover has fourth here. Easy. 66 has a run. Kevin Savoy comes around turn 4 to the straightaway. Bunnell has a 3/4 second difference. Did not gain or lose much there. Crownover looking to take over fourth. Has it by a nose. Kevin Savoy wins. Spencer third. That is your list right there. They really... Whoa! Whoa, whoa. Uncalled for.
Gotta crack open my strawberry ice pop here. That's a little bit spicy.
Whoa.
Gonna have to roll back the replay here, find what caused that.
Kevin Savoy, your race winner. While we do that, Kevin Savoy, your race winner here. And Chris Spencer, big news of the day. There's that third place car doing a phenomenal job. Jesse Bunnell will be second, able to impact. Andrew Phipps, of course, had a heck of a day. Second all day long. Found himself finding the wall there, being aggressive at the end of the race. And kind of want to go back. I want to follow along with Joshua Brock here and these drivers and what they've got going on. Let's take a look here. Now, I will tell you, Anthony Crownover back here had a run with the 66, but he was able to clear the outside. Crownover did a phenomenal job here of just trying to be aggressive. Has Redkin right there, able to drop in. 97 of Ramsdale trying to get there as well. Phenomenal driving by all 3 of these drivers, getting themselves around in a situation that was very much detrimental. Redkin there, just older tires, just trying to make it work, just trying to get himself into the mix here, but the new 4 tires came at it. Here's a look. I'm just going to follow this one for just a moment. I want to see if there was anything here that forced this issue. Ooh, 28 to the inside. 18. That looked like netcode a little bit. 18 high up on the race line. 28 has a new 4-tire run. It's catching up to the 1 car here. This is the final lap. This is when the white flag waves here. We'll talk to the top 3 here in a moment. 66 has a huge run. 28 gets into the corner. New tires, able to just send it. Gets himself around. And Crownover, one of the first drivers that have ever called a race 4. And the speed difference here, 1 solid. 28 goes all the way down here. 1 down the block, comes down to the 28. Comes doors the 28. And there's the 12. Here's the race line in. 28 keeps it clean. And maybe it's just banter at the end. I don't know. Kind of hope it was. Let's talk to Kevin Savoy as well, because that I'm not sure. Did you see anything outside of that?
No, I did not. I'm wondering if it was something earlier in the race, because Brock was pinching him down to the bottom there, so I'd assume maybe some tempers from early on. But as you mentioned, could also just be some banter.
Who knows? Who knows? Either way, let's talk to Kevin Savoy, who's going to be your race winner today. And not only that, but he's going to be your Horizon 5 first winner. Extra $50 coming in your pocket. Walk me through this one. It was a clean race and your first win in quite a while, but a good win and no doubt a track you're really good at.
Yeah, man. I'm really happy with this one. Wasn't expecting it really, but man, it was a great race. Kept it clean all night, and yeah, led almost every lap other than the guys that were stopping a bit later. And yeah, great points night because I was able to get to keep Andrew out from leading a lap, and so I get the bonus points. He get a nice little points cushion again, and yeah, but no, that last caution, I did not want that one. I thought I was going to be low on fuel, but I managed to save enough on the yellow and managed to keep enough gas to cross the finish line. Yeah, and I thought Jesse was gonna sail on past me because I expected him to have 4 tires and newer tires than me. But yeah, I guess he came out on 2 tires and I was able to hold them off on that final restart.
Looked like it was a ton. I tell you what, what'd you think whenever, did your heart sink a little bit whenever it came down to 77? When the caution came
Oh
out?
yeah. Oh, big time. Like I said, I thought I was going to be short on fuel. I was saving like crazy. I was sweating bullets, honestly, thinking that I was not going to be able to cross the finish line without sputtering. But yeah, my heart sank really badly when that caution fell out. I really did not want it because, I mean, I had a nice gap to Andrew. But yeah, no, I'm glad I could keep enough fuel in it to finish the race.
Kyle, give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, using that last caution, just doing everything right. You know, at the end there, you end up leading 72 laps out of the, I believe you ran 83, 85 laps. So, really dominating performance. You know, last 3 weeks being second place finishes here for you, just to be able to kind of take that extra step up. You know, nothing extra to show here or prove for you, but you know, just being able to help your win total and your total points for the season really working out well for you there. Yeah, just talking about that last caution there. Were you worried potentially about second place coming into pitting and then you just finding yourself being the lone dog out front with old tires?
No. The way that we had tires for today, most of us had to use all of them on that last stop. So other than the guys maybe that could have maybe stretched it on fuel could have came in, but other than that, everyone that made stops regularly would not have been able to have a new set. So I was covered on that side, so I was happy with that. If we had an extra set, yeah, I would have been extremely worried because then you're the freaking leader and you're the sitting duck. So who's gonna stop? Who's gonna stay out? And yeah, that would have been a heartbreaker.
Well, congratulations on your Horizon 5 victory. Say hello to Ulysses S. Grant for us on the face of that $50 bill there.
Oh, I will.
Speaking of which, Rich Holland from Dark Horizon Fishing here as well. The Dark Horizon 5, a segment here that they have throughout the series. Rich, you're the honorary check presenter.
Kevin Savoy, want to congratulate you on an amazing race and congratulations on winning the second race of the Dark Horizon 5. Each time that a winner does not win, it compounds, and you were able to stop that compounding. And congratulations to you, sir.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Rich. Very, very much appreciated, and hopefully we'll get some more of these by the end of the season.
You got 3 more attempts at it, that's for darn sure, and it's going to be some good money, some good fun. Kevin, give you shout outs. Congratulations once again for your 8th win of the season here at Indianapolis.
Thanks to you, Jason and Kyle, for great broadcasts every week. Signature Esports. Check them out: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, everywhere. Thanks to the Winston Throwback for making this possible. This league is awesome. Every time we race, it's a great time. And as you can see tonight, one caution right at the end, and such clean racing all every week. So yeah, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot to everyone watching, and any fans of mine, thanks a lot. Have a good night.
99, your victor here. Kicking butt and taking names. Let's bring up 17 of Jesse Bunnell. Did you think you were going to finish second?
No, I didn't, man. I thought I was going to probably finish 4th. Just didn't quite have it tonight. 12 and 99, both faster than we were. and we were going to take third place there at the end, and I tried to stay out later than those guys, and hopefully a caution came out with about 10 to go, and they would have used up their last set of tires, and I would have had one left, but we just ran out of gas, had to pit. Took 2 tires, probably would have finished fourth. Caution came out, we're able to snag a second, so we're happy with that. Congrats to Kevin on the W there, and good run by the other guys. Phipps had a good run. He probably would have finished second there, so I hate to see the caution come out for him, but gained a couple points on him and lost a couple points to Kevin, so we'll take it. All in all, pretty good night, can't complain.
Going back to it, Kyle or Mr. Bunnell, what do you got for him?
Yeah, you had a really good run going there for a while. You know, Sonoma being the last race I remember calling. You know, you had your third place. You went out and got your double victory at Daytona, Chicagoland. You know, went to New Hampshire. Didn't have as good a result as you probably wanted with your third place start. Pocono getting your top 3, so your podium finish, and then tonight you said you're outside of the top 3, kind of looking at a 4th place finish there, and kind of a late caution going in your favor. Yeah, what did you need tonight? What do you think was some of the areas that you could have improved to be able to compete with the drivers up front?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. I wish I knew. Didn't have any mistakes on pit road. Brushed the wall just a little bit, getting in the corner a few times, but I mean, not enough to cause any damage or anything. Just kind of get the Velcro effect and lost a little bit of time, but the overall speed just wasn't there. I was trying different brake ratio combinations and stuff, and I just couldn't get the speed that they had. They were a 10th or so faster lap, and over that long green run, I mean, you know, it adds up. You know, 10th lap. So. But that's all right. We'll take it. Appreciate what you guys do. I want to say shout out to Mark tonight, the sponsor VIP. I'm not sure what happened to him. We lost him early in the race, and hopefully everything's good there. I want to thank them for the sponsorship for myself and the league, and hopefully we'll get them a little bit better run next week.
Jesse, always a pleasure, man. Tell the fam I said hello, and we look forward to seeing you at Michigan.
Yes, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is the man. The number 17 comes home P2. One more person. I drew him up. Hopefully he's there. Chris, you got me? Mr. Spencer, are you there, sir? I drug you up from your channel.
What's up, boss?
Dude, you got third.
It's been a while.
It may have been a while, but you've been getting spicier and spicier throughout the season. Walk me through today's race. I know the restart kind of helped a little bit there, but you were gaining late in the run. You had the long run car.
Yeah, I struggled pretty much all that race. I think some of those guys were on some strategy at the end there, so I got the advantage on tires. But man, what a tough race. Indianapolis is not exactly one of our better tracks, but it was a pretty good race though. Overall, really good race.
Seeming as you're improving. I've been watching your iRating kind of start climbing, and you're getting into those top split races as well, and you're finding that these league races are starting to come to even more now as well. Where does the drive to get into the simulator each week come from?
Then the competitiveness just to get in and just want to do good. You know, every time you get on, every time you race, no matter what series, what car you're driving, it's just, you know, your goal is to go out and win. So when you have a league like this, and then, you know, and then you're getting into the better splits, the racing, the competitiveness all picks up, and, you know, that just adds to the fuel, just wanting to get on and try to win.
In his blood. Kyle, anything for Mr. Spencer?
Yeah, a little bit of an off-topic question, but yeah, you talk about wanting to get better. What cars specifically are you focusing on when it comes to trying to run better?
Well, I do spend a lot of time in trucks, but I'd say between the ARCA and Xfinity car, just because of the way you have to drive them. You're pretty much in the ARCA car, you're pushing it all the time. There's no such thing as not pushing it. You're having to push it all the time, where you're looking at Xfinity, it's complete opposite. You're kind of just managing tires, managing the car, trying not to get yourself in bad situations. So those are two vehicles I really say, especially her driver and Oval, just they're big pushes, big helps. Teaches you two different forms or two different ways of really getting out there and, you know, being the best you can be.
Well, Chris, it is always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. And I want to say you're going to get more and more positions. More, you're going to get some wins. You're gonna, you're
Yeah,
gonna,
that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
you're getting there, getting there.
Yeah, we started the season off pretty decent, and
Yeah,
I
you
think
did.
mid-season there things got a little crazy.
Yeah, well, I kind of put some pressure on you too. I said you need to win at this track, and I remember that conversation. Chris, give your shout outs, my man. Congratulations on a P3 finish tonight. Fantastic drive for you.
Of course, the Winston Throwback Series, chasing you guys over at esports there. Always just calling a great race. The league itself, everyone always great racing. Again tonight, long green flag runs. We didn't get a caution until the last 5 laps there, so that really speaks of everything. Dark Horizons as well for sponsoring the league and helping keeping it going.
Dude, I tell you what, it was an insane race, and I look forward to seeing you next week in Michigan.
Oh yeah, definitely look forward to Michigan. Maybe we might be able to pull one off there.
There you go. I like it. That's what I want to hear. It's added pressure. We like pressure. Pressure makes diamonds.
Listen, all right, if we can bring a diamond from Michigan, I like it.
There it is. There's Chris Spencer there for you, folks. We'll let him get at it. Pitter patter, get at her. Anthony out there on YouTube said I was as clean as you could be. Had a good time, but he said he's like, I'm garbage at this track. Nah, you're good. You're good. You got some good pace, folks. Kyle, one more time. Final thoughts for today's race.
Yeah, that was. I mean, all I can really say is that was Indianapolis. It's such a interesting racetrack and how it is and how you have to drive it. We saw a lot of drivers tonight, having troubles just, being able to, maximize their laps. And you saw a big difference between kind of the guys at the front and the guys at the back, just with how important each corner is and how that relates to your exits. So, we saw, different strategies and different, pace. But ultimately, it just came down to who was the better driver. We talked about Kevin Savoy the entire race and kind of his just how he was able to stay out front and kind of the pace he was showing. Even though he didn't grab pole, he didn't set the fastest lap time in practice. He just had the better race pace for the entire run. Was able to kind of carry out those gaps later on in the run and kind of just look comfortable up front the entire race. So. That's my takeaway from tonight is just Kevin Savoy doing exactly what you need to do to win the race and did it well, leading 72 laps out of the 85 run tonight.
It was huge. One of my favorite things about today's race is that there was strategy. There was nothing about this race that was just cookie cutter. Everything was different. Everybody tried to do something different, and it made for very very fun and entertaining race to call, especially for something this long. I mean, we're 80 laps, 2.5 mile track. It's still a 200 over 200 mile race. That is a lot of mileage to put on these cars, and it's always a ton of fun to be able to take a look at that and see what folks are trying to do to try to one up each other, and it's been insane to see. Rich, how about you, my man? You had the Dark Horizon 5 drivers out there trying to compete for money, but not only compete for money, you got some fishing trips folks need to book.
Yeah, no, super proud of the league and what they've done with this little bit of a bonus being out there throughout the season. They have maintained some phenomenal clean racing when there's money on the line, and that is something that I am really, really happy to see. That alone, if anybody is looking for a fishing trip in the Virginia Beach area this summer coming up, you can go to my Facebook page, Dark Horizon Fishing. If you are in any of the Discords or in part of leagues, you can message me through them as well. And we're looking at having a banger year in the Chesapeake Bay for cobia, red drum, black drum, flounder, spade fish. The list goes on and on, but it's shaping up to be a good fishing season based off of the surveys.
He is the reason for #Spicy out there, and a big part of what we do over here, Signature Esports. We love having Rich aboard. Rich, tell me about your race. You had some spicy computer issues, but you're the first driver 1 lap down.
Yeah, we were doing good. I think we made it up to 7th, and I was pushing on the 6th place car, Mr. Spencer, as a matter of fact. and him and I were kind of racing the pit road, and I came in a little bit too spicy, so I had to do a 40-second hold, put me a lap down. Then when I came out, of course, Savoy and Phipps and Jesse, they were hot on my tail, and I begged Savoy, please don't make it two, please don't make it two. He's like, I got to do it. And
he had some people hot on his tail, that's for darn sure.
yeah, but yeah, it's the same thing every week. Quick car, definitely top 5 car every week, but I either make mistakes or get wrapped up in mistakes, which is it's part of racing. And then towards the end with the bringing out the caution, that was most unfortunate. I was not expecting a little bit of a break from the car in front in the middle of the corner, and kind of got up, turned them, and I apologize to all competitors for that. I will be owning that in the league, but is not intentional in any way, shape, or form.
Nah, it was a huge difference in speed. Excuse me, getting in and out of the corner. Between you and Parker there, and I'm sure he knows. I mean, he finished right behind you in the race, so that was at least a little look at that. Speaking of that, there's your race results, folks. We didn't even go over that. It was we got right into the conversation. So you finished 13th. He finished right behind you. Both of you drivers were a lap down, but I mean, it made for an interesting end of the race. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, I mean, you sit there and you grind it out for that many laps. Whether you're the leader or you're the last place car, you're grinding out for that many laps without a caution. And it gets to that point in the race where you're just like, let's get it done. And yeah, I'm the reason for it. I am the black sheep of this race.
It is how it is. It is the way things go. But speaking of cash and stuff like that, tomorrow night, folks, Cash Money Race. Check out the link. There's a post on our Facebook page. It's pinned to the top. It is the Dark Horizon Langley. They're gonna run the Legend Pros fixed setup, 50 laps for some cash. Get out there. It's a little bit of cash, but they're only taking 24 drivers. So you have to get into the Signature Esports Discord. Click the link there to get registered for the race, and you'll be good to go there, folks. So make sure that you do that. I think we're about a third of the way filled up already. Put that out a couple of days ago, and drivers are now finding their way in there. So go check that out. Get yourself some money, courtesy of Mr. Spicy as well. Dark Horizon Fishing, of course, caution sponsor to every week. But also a big part of the Winston Throwback series, helping these guys continue to roll forward, and part of the reason why I'm here as well. So we're always appreciative. Last but not least, Kevin Savoy, your race winner. Jesse Bunnell, Chris Spencer. There's Crownover in 4th, Phipps in 5th, Malarkey, Ramsdale, Barack, Pless, Redkin. That's going to be your top 10. Wasserman, Porter, Rich again finishes in 13th. Parker finishes in 14th. Dillard, McPherson, Coulter Jr. finishes in 17th. Mark Creighton in 18th. And then last but not least, Stryker. He's going to be in 19th. He had a dip early. Something must have happened there. A great race. It was a ton of fun. Kyle, I know you're going to go back to work. Do you got any more shout-outs you want to give?
I got my YouTube channel, Sexy Waltrip. Might be some stuff coming out there. I got some special event thing that we've been puttering around with some buddies of mine. So, might see something there, something kind of odd and out there, which is kind of fits what I typically do, just kind of weird, random things. So, yeah, check that out if you want to see something weird.
The name says it all. Anthony Garland, thank you for the like. Chris Spencer, thank you for the like. Thank you, folks out there. Make sure that if you're out there on YouTube, you reach up, hit that like button for me. I appreciate everybody. Thank you to the Winston Throwback Series. Thank you to all my sponsors across the board. Rogue Energy. Links in the description for all of these sponsors as well. There's a wish list now in the chat as well. You guys can go out there and check out if you want to buy something for the stream to help support the stream, help support what I do there. The Amazon wish list is there to ship directly to me. You don't even have to have it. Doesn't even give you my address. You just do it. And if you want something quirky out there, you find it on Amazon, you can add it to the list too. I think it has the option for that. However, I want to thank Skokie Esports. Thank Kyle, of course, for jumping in here. Dark Horizon Fishing, the Winston Throwback Series, VIP Tires and Service, MCI Graphics on Trading Paints, JB's Paint Shop, of course, on Trading Paints as well. They put up these fantastic schemes for the Winston Throwback Series. Hit the merch link in the link tree. Go check out everything we have on TikTok, and I'm trying to work out these dangled clips, so that way I can get. I have about 6 hours of clips that I want to upload to TikTok, but that might be an overload. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's going to be a ton of fun, folks. Find me out there. Signature Esports is the platform for sim racing and all of your gaming needs. I appreciate you all. Much love. Be good. Be kind to one another, because if you're not my friend, and then we have an issue with that. That's what I'm saying. Be good. Be safe. See you in the next one.